Hello, my name is Xavier Mercado, and this is Spearhead Conversations. Today, I'm joined by a special guest, Nas Musa. He is the founder of Casablanca and Moosas on Bradford Beach. With Casablanca, there's two locations, one on Brady Street and one in Brookfield. I've been paying attention. This man is all business. He's an entrepreneur. I really look up to his business mentality and just the success of his branding. I reached out, he replied, and here we are. So without further ado, how are you doing, Nas?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
Hey, man. How you been otherwise, man?
I'm good. Surviving.
Yeah.
Surviving, working.
Well, Casablanca, that's how that took off. I mean, that's your baby.
That's my baby.
The Brady Street location, how long has that been open?
I'd say we're going on 19 years.
19
years, yeah.
The big 2-0.
Yeah.
Man.
17 when we opened up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah. And then you have a location in Brookfield.
Correct. Yeah, it's been around like 5 years now.
5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it got the same look, the same.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So, I would say a little bit bigger.
Okay.
More modern. But,
okay.
Yeah, really nice.
I'm actually going to that location in a couple weeks.
Okay.
They're doing a type of business meetup and networking.
Yep. Thursday nights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a pretty big success.
So I'm finally gonna get in there.
Right.
But yeah, man, I've followed you through the years. I actually know we grew up in the same town.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yeah. Good old South Milwaukee. We are some Rockets.
Yes, sir. Go Rockets.
But yeah, man, I've since I began this platform, I eventually wanted to reach out just with the success you've had with your businesses, man. It's pretty full time, man. Working 3 locations.
Yeah, even exaggerating. I would say full life, not even full time.
Yeah. Well, here we are to give you your flowers, brother. Thanks, so let's jump in.
Sure.
Where were you born?
I was born in South Milwaukee.
South Milwaukee? Got you. How was your childhood?
Man, my childhood was unique. I grew up with a family of 9 in a small house in South Milwaukee. 5 brothers, 4 sisters. Very strict parents.
Yeah.
My father at the time had a Casablanca on Oakland.
Okay.
And once I was able to walk and talk, he put me to work.
For sure.
Oh, for sure, man. I probably started working at the age of 8. I remember, standing on milk crates and doing dishes.
Ah, man.
4 or 5 days a week. Right after school, come straight to work.
Wow.
So it was an exciting childhood. I would say that for sure.
So he's the original.
Yeah, my dad,
yeah.
OG. Yep.
The OG.
The OG for sure.
And through that, what were hobbies? So you worked. What were hobbies you were into?
Man, I love video games. I used to create my own board games. Me and my brother Al, we're like 2 years apart, and we're very close, and we were very close. We used to build video games or not video games, but board games. We're very like outdoors. We used to build like forts and tree houses, and we were very open minded. We did some unique things as kids.
That's awesome.
For sure.
So you said you had 9 siblings?
Yeah, 9 of us.
Where do you fall in the mix?
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
In the middle, yep. Middle child. Yep.
Who? You only have how many brothers?
5 of us.
5 of them.
Yeah. 5
Man, y'all got the squad.
Yeah, that's why my dad had to open a restaurant to feed us.
For real. How was your memories of that location?
So the Oakland, it was Oakland and Edgewood. It's currently Carini's.
Yeah.
It was good. It was busy. I was always in the kitchen. I never was in the front of the house, but I was always doing dishes. It was a busy location for sure. And then my dad ended up closing that location and then reopened up on 7th and Mitchell, say back in like 2001.
Yeah.
And at the age of 16, or I would say like 13, 14, I was serving. And then at 16, I was managing the whole place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, man, going along, well, you went to South Milwaukee. Didn't you play for the basketball team?
I did.
Man.
I did play for the Rockets.
Ooh,
Yeah.
playing basketball and working.
Yeah. I didn't finish the season because of work.
Okay, gotcha.
So my dad, when he closed down the Mitchell Street location, I had to basically, drop out of sports and work full time because, 9 of us, you can imagine a lot of bills and stuff.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah, the brothers had to go to work.
I mean, I got 4, and it's a handful,
right?
But I can't even say, you know what I mean? That's beautiful that you have that size family and the success that has come from that. You have another sibling that works alongside. How many are still in the business of helping?
So right now it's just me and my brother Al.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. And how you said he's your younger brother?
Al's my older brother.
Older brother.
2 years apart.
Okay, gotcha. Man, do you guys ever bump heads?
I mean,
y'all brothers.
We were bumping heads not even like 2 hours ago.
Oh, there you go.
Something with him is we'll fight, we'll bump heads, but no matter what, the next day we love each other. We're brothers, and business comes first.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a stronger bond between any brothers. Me and Al are pretty close.
Yeah, for sure, man. You got. I'll tell you, I have a sibling that's 1 year younger than me, and growing up, with all my siblings, it's you fight and you already know the minute something pops up, we all in.
Oh, for sure. A funny story. This is like 2 years ago. Me and my brother were like in each other's face right outside the restaurant. I forgot what it was about. And there's this guy just walking by. He was drunk, and he was like, he looks at me and says, "Hey, man, you want to beat this dude up?" I'm like, "What? That's my brother. What'd you say?" Like, right away, like, "Hey." Yeah. He was like, "Wait a second, what's going on?" I'm like,
"Yeah, you don't say that to strangers, bro."
It's a pretty interesting relationship I got with him.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you were working all through, childhood. I mean, this is a big family. Got to pay the bills. When do you think the mindset of the entrepreneur you are now, when do you think that mindset really placed in?
It placed in when the money stopped coming in, when my dad retired.
Okay.
It was emergency mode. Like, okay, well, we got a family of 9, we have a house.
Yep.
We got to work. So when we opened up Casablanca back in 2005, and I was 17, I was 19 at the time, we were like, this is it. Every credit card maxed out, savings depleted.
Yeah.
And that was like, failure is not an option. We got to make this work. And that's when that, entrepreneurship mentality kicked in, because, we always had to figure out issues. We always had to figure out, how to basically, open up the next day with minimum funds to no funds.
Yeah.
So that's where it started, knowing that failure is not an option.
Well, I will say, like, just seeing the growth of your business. You got Brady Street. Brady Street was that first location, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's location, bro. I mean, they teach you, obviously coming up in a restaurant business, location is everything. How did you manage to get on the Brady Street?
So that location's unique too, man. There was 3 businesses that failed 5 years prior to us getting that spot, right? And people were like, "Man, that place is jinxed. Don't get it." Well, yada yada yada. There was actually a fire that happened there before we took it over, and my brother found the location when he was driving by, and he was like, "No, this is it." So we put all our sleeves up, and I remember I was cleaning the smoke damage and coughing up black smoke for days just from cleaning it. We did the floors. I painted. Everything we could have done on our own, we did it.
Yeah.
And it took time to get where it's at, obviously, and to get busy, and it wasn't easy.
Yeah. What were some? Obviously, you got to rebuild now because you're taking on the damage from before. What were other barriers that you faced in creating?
I mean, most of our funds went to rebuilding. Flooring and paint and all that. When you make a first order on liquor and food, when you just open up a business, they don't give you net 30. So we had to go all in. So paying back the vendors the first month was a challenge.
Yeah.
But we were always able to get by, which was great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful building. I mean, it's very unique.
Yeah. So you know the story behind how we got the second floor and all that stuff?
No, I don't.
Yep. So in 2012, my brother's like, you know what? You know, we've got a big family. All of us are, you know, we got kids, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, we need more income. So we're like, you know, do we open up another restaurant?
Yeah,
You know, it's hard to split the family up. You know, let's just build up.
for sure.
And at that time, you know, Casa was always packed. Weekends, we were sitting people by the bathrooms. Like, we were doing everything we could to get, you know, as many customers in.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we saved up some money, got some loans, and did a huge project. Basically, you know, brand new kitchen, a whole new second floor, elevator, basement. And I think we're the only restaurant in history to do what we did.
Yeah.
We didn't close a single day. There was a time that we had no roof and we were open.
Oh my God, bro.
We didn't close a single day, man. We bought a kitchen trailer,
Yeah.
parked on the side of the building, and was cooking out of there and running food to the tables. There was, you know, outdoor seating underneath scaffolding.
Y'all the real MVPs.
Man, if people were like, "What the heck's going on?" Like,
Yeah.
But it was an experience, and it was definitely it was a tough one,
Yeah.
you know. But we didn't have the luxury of closing because, you know, one, we didn't want to lose our customer base,
For sure.
and two, when you're not bringing money in and you're putting money out, it's scary, you know.
You know, as a business owner, and I even know this, you know, when you start off, you aren't making anything. Everything's going into the business to create. And I, you know, just listening off of what you said, it's the biggest point right there. You have to invest in yourself if you want to be successful. How long was it before you started seeing like the return of everything, you know, to that point in the beginning of making an ROI?
I would say like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
You know, the first 3 years we were just saving everything, and you know, it even after 3 years, like, I'm not a big spender. I'm very humble. I don't really go out like spending crazy amount of money, but I would say after 3 to 4 years, you start to feel it. You know, the hard work starts to pay off.
Well, you're a part of that culture on Brady Street. You're a big part of it, especially during Brady Street Festival. Did you at one point have like wrestlers?
No, we do every year.
Every year.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
It's called Casa Rumble.
Casa Rumble.
Yeah, we bring in some big name wrestlers and some local celebrity wrestlers that come in every year. So it's a good attraction. Brings a lot of people in.
How is that with community? I mean,
Man, they love it. They love wrestling. We also had live camel rides.
Okay.
Yeah, so I brought a camel in. I actually took it down Brady Street, and halfway there, people were like, "What's going on?" So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna head back. But it's cool to say I rode a camel down Brady Street.
For sure.
I think I'm probably the only one in history to do that. But
yeah,
it was cool, man. It was Brady Street Fest it's a fun event. It's unique for sure.
Well, your restaurant is Mid-Eastern.
Middle
you
Eastern,
know,
yeah.
It's these dishes are very unique. It's like a unique heritage that, you know, you infused into this community. I mean, you're very, along with unique, it's just different. Go in, if you can, go into the type of dishes you serve.
So when we first opened, it was the same menu my dad had since 1980, 1989, right? Till this day, we actually still got some same dishes from my pops. But we're known for our shish kebabs.
Okay.
You know, we do a really good job with our shawarma. I don't know if you're familiar with shawarma.
Yeah.
Shredded beef. We got shredded chicken shawarma. And you know, we got American food too. Like we got wings.
Yeah, you got to balance it out.
Balance it out. We actually got a really good quesadilla.
Okay.
We call it Casadilla.
Casadilla.
That's actually a very popular item. But our most popular dishes would be like our lamb chops. With a little bit of Middle Eastern flair. We got little sumac onions in there with some spinach, and I'll also say like our couscous is really popular.
Okay.
That's more of like a Moroccan dish.
Any family recipes that you have in the restaurant?
Everything in that menu is my pops' recipe. The rice, the seasoning to the meat.
Dude, let's give your dad up. Man, that's so beautiful, man. This is like homegrown. This is straight from Milwaukee, like your brand is like literally embedded into the community. I didn't realize, before you opened it, that there was this long history that of like being passed down from generation to generation, man. With this, how would you describe your work ethic in going from once an employee to now being the head of the house?
I don't feel any different.
No.
Man, because when we first opened till now, it's the same drive.
Yeah.
We're still supporting, my mom and dad and some sisters and brothers. We're still supporting, and I don't feel any different.
Yeah.
I have the same drive. I feel like we just opened up, and we're still like, okay, we still got to figure this out, and it's been 19 years.
Yeah.
But we're learning still.
Yeah.
And sometimes, there's things that you don't experience that you experience that make you understand things better.
Okay.
For sure.
Are you because I'm not really familiar throughout the community, but how many restaurants would you say is alongside the type of restaurant that you have?
Man, there isn't anything compared to Casablanca.
No, there isn't.
No.
I do know.
We're one of a kind.
Yeah.
There has been restaurants that opened up like us but haven't succeeded. But there is fast food Palestinian-owned restaurants that they do a very good job too that are around the area. But like everything that we offer and that we present to our clientele base, there's nothing compared to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are achievement or milestones you've reached during the duration of your tenure taking over and just running the family business?
It's I'm telling you, man, there's something new every year. There's always new hurdles, new goals, setbacks. We're getting into like a new business venture. We've been getting into it for the last 3 years, and that's just been hard. But there's always new things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you assure the authenticity of like your dishes? Like, as time goes forward, you always want to, like how you said, improvise and switch it up. How since you've began, how has that changed for you as far as adding on and taking off of the menu?
Yeah. We listen to our customer base. We hear what they like, we hear what they don't like. We see what sells the most, and then we try to get a dish that's comparable to it. And we also see like what's trending overseas and what's doing good at other Middle Eastern restaurants or other restaurants in the area, and we try to like maybe mimic it, but with a little twist.
Yeah. How long did it take for you? Because you this isn't the only location you have in Brookfield. How long did it take for you to open up that location? And what inspired the final move to move forward with a second location?
Man, the bills don't stop coming in. So, I would say, we definitely wanted to go out west. Brookfield was a location that my brother had his eyes on for a while.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing out there that's Middle Eastern or Mediterranean. So we're like, this is a great location.
Yeah.
We did take over a really tough location. Prior to us, it was 812, which was the Ryan Braun and Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, yep.
Right? They were there for like about 2 years or something like that. And then we took it over from that group called Surge Group.
Okay.
So they were there for a couple of years, and so far, I mean, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of hurdles out there, but been there for about 6 years now.
What is it taught you through that location? Because with every location you do business with, it's a different landscape. What has that location taught you?
That location taught me that you have to have a solid game plan, and you can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah.
Me not being out there as much, you can definitely see the effects of it. You gotta have communication with your key players.
Yeah.
You gotta show them that you're present. You gotta communicate with them daily, and you gotta show your face at least 2 to 3 times a week.
For sure.
Because your presence makes a huge difference to your staff, to your customers.
Yeah.
The energy too.
For sure, man. It's a game changer. Everyone knows that when the boss man walks through. I did restaurants in my early 20s, and that taught me a lot about myself. Taking structure and just being a team player. But yeah, I always knew when the big man comes in, hey, be on your A game. What is your favorite part about being in the position you are in, and then you have these teams across the board. What is your favorite part of this experience you're on, this journey you're on?
Man, there's not a lot of good things in it, but I would say not having a set schedule. Like I can go in whenever I want. I can, of course, that doesn't. I'm always there, the first one there, and sometimes the last one out. But I like being a leader.
Yeah.
I like being the one that makes decisions on bettering like staff's lives and having customers enjoy like a new meal or a new experience when it comes to like, we're doing R&B Fridays now at Brookfield.
Okay.
It's definitely probably the first out in Brookfield, but it's a
Yeah.
success, man. We've been busy on Fridays now with that, and I'm looking for more options. I'm thinking on doing like maybe like a salsa night on Saturdays or something.
There we go.
But people go out there. It's it's a quiet neighborhood, but you build it, they'll come.
Moosas. What inspired this? Because from Casablanca to this is a big change. This is on the beach, which again, location. What inspired that move?
So we got a letter from the city saying that they're doing like an RFP for county businesses that are available, right? So my brother and I, we were actually interested in taking over the tiki huts at Bradford Beach. We never thought about doing a burger place or anything. So we went to the meeting and we wanted to do the tiki huts, and then they're like, well, there's other restaurants available too. You guys want to take a look at it? I'm like, yeah, sure. So we went into, at the time it was North Point, and we're like, yeah, sure, we'll bid on this too. So we actually bid it on North Point and the tiki huts, but we were only awarded the North Point.
Yeah.
So now we're like, dude, we just got North Point. I'm like, what? Yeah. So,
Wow.
So what are we gonna do? I'm like, shit. I don't know. Let me think about it. So it took me some time. I was thinking about names and concepts, but I mean, it's a pretty simple menu.
I love how you work that in. Moosas.
The way I got that name was a girl in high school used to always making fun of my last name because my last name is Musa.
Yeah.
And she used to be like, Musa. I'm like, shut up. So I'm like, you know what?
She's the real MVP.
Yeah. Her name's Mandy. If she's watching this. Yeah,
Mandy. There you go.
She and I told her too. I was like, you're the reason why I named this restaurant Moosas.
Yeah.
But I mean, with that name, I'm like, you know what? No, I need a mascot. I need a face behind it. And I'm like, what better than a cow head?
From Wisconsin.
From Wisconsin, right? Added a little bow tie, to him to make him look a little proper. But you know what? Moosas is it's a success for sure, man. My dream is to franchise it one day. We did open up a location on 27th Street. Lasted about a year. With COVID, it was really tough, so we ended up closing that down. But I'm actually in the process of signing a lease for a new location, but I'm not going to say what location that is until it's official. But
you heard it here first.
Yes, it's going to be on the east side.
Yeah.
Hopefully it goes good with that.
Bam.
Yeah. But I love Moosas, man. That's my creation, my menu.
Go into the menu. Like what is the servings?
So I mean, we're doing the standard, burgers, jumbo burgers. We got really good wings, and cheese curds, onion rings, really good shakes, and one of our most popular dishes is the walking taco.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a very popular item out there for sure.
Man, how do you feel Milwaukee has attributed to the success that you've had?
Man, if it wasn't for Milwaukee, we wouldn't be where we're at. I mean, the diversity in the city is unfortunate, and I feel like Casablanca brings that crowd together. I mean, and I'm not sure when was the last time you were there, but we have every ethnicity, religion, race, they all come to one spot.
Yeah.
And we're sort of like, a destination where you can visit the world in one location.
Yeah, man.
You know, and it's pretty interesting, and I'm happy that we're part of that. You know, it's an experience that you can't really experience anywhere else.
Well, you know, the standard you set at Casablanca's, you know, the bar is high. You know, that's coming from outsider looking in. It's one of those establishments where, you know, you're treated with respect from the moment you walk through that door. You know, it's a vibe of a welcoming vibe, and it's comfortable. And then what better way to taste all the different type of dishes, and yeah, man. So I have to ask, do you think without growing up in the family business that this would have been something you would have pursued?
No, definitely not. I envied it.
Yeah.
As a kid, you know, I was forced to do it. You know, and I always told myself when I grow up, I can't wait to get out of the restaurant business.
Yeah.
But at that time, that's really all we knew.
Yeah.
So,
well, you're a great entrepreneur here now. You know, you've carried on the legacy. What has it been, especially with COVID? You know, coming out of that, like, was there any moment that you were truly you had worries about?
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Man, it's like, you know, you have a nightmare and you don't wake up from it. That's how it felt. You know, having at the time, you know, 4 restaurants, and it's like no money's coming in, and you have all these expenses and all these mouths to feed. But we did it. We were doing to-goes. I was actually doing to-go hookahs. It's probably, you know, I was probably doing like 200 to 300 hookahs a month, which really saved us.
Yeah.
And that really helped us big time. So thank you for all the supporters out there that were ordering from us during COVID. But yeah, I mean, I was there every day because obviously we didn't have any employees. But I was in that kitchen 7 days a week, you know, cooking, making to-go hookahs, and
salute to you, man.
Yeah, it was scary for sure. But you know, what made me feel a little more comfort was knowing it wasn't just us; it was the whole country. You know, the whole world.
Yeah, it affected everyone.
Yeah,
you know, South Milwaukee. I lived across the street from the old Johnny Mo's. So, you know, you see places like that having to really push through with takeout orders, and you know, it's, man, that will forever be. My kids were in kindergarten. You know, until last year, that was their first regular year, which is crazy to think. You know. But that says a lot, you know what I mean? You broke through this barrier. Who have been mentors? You have your father, of course. You know, your father, in my eyes, and what you've said, he's a foundation. But who are other mentors that have guided you that you'd like to give, you know, their flowers and to the success you've had?
You know, my father for sure. Number one, he you know, he taught us a lot. Taught us, you know, hard work and you know, being consistent and dedicated is very important. But I was always working, so I never really had time to even like talk to people or visit other people to, you know, get advice from. You know, when they'll come to Casa, and at the time when I was bartending, I'll talk to other restaurant owners and managers and like ask them for like, hey, how do you do this? Or if this happens, what would you do? But I will say, like, I used to always look up to, and I still do, Carl Kops, you know, from Elsa's and you know, Kops. A lot of my style is his style. Yeah. And I love Elsa's. I go there all the time. And I used to watch him bussing tables, greeting guests. And that inspired me, man. And I do the same. Like, till today, I mean, I'll bus tables, I'll walk up to guests, I'll do dishes if I have to. I don't care. There's nothing underneath you. But even his style at Cops, like I try to use some of his style at Moosa's. So I would say Carl Cops is a huge influence to me in my life.
Well, that's beautiful, because I always said, like, when I used to do restaurants, I didn't care. Like, just if you send me to the kitchen, you sending me to the kitchen. It's more of like humility. Like, you going with the program. It's team, you know. And I do respect when I do see a owner or a boss, you know, someone that I work for, getting their hands dirty. It says a lot more. And most of these, you know, people that go into restaurants, these head bosses, just from experience of how many years I've had, a lot of them don't like to get their hands dirty. You know, it just says a lot. It says, you know, we're all in this together. And when you do that, you build the morale and you have successful brands like yours. What type of legacy are you trying? What legacy do you want to leave behind with, you know, 2 locations at Casablanca, 1 with Moosas, about to open a 2nd location? What's the legacy you're trying to build?
You know, man, I never really thought of it. I'm always consumed to my, the day-to-day operations and, supporting my family. I just want to be remembered as a place that everyone came to and had a good time, got along, and, experienced something different in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Man. Where do you see this going in the next 5?
I can truly say that I can see more Moosas opening up.
Mm-hmm.
Casas, I mean, I love Casablanca, but man, it's an operation.
For sure.
A lot of moving parts,
mm-hmm.
the late nights. And I'm getting old. I'm
Yeah.
getting older. I'm not old now, but you know what? Who knows? I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Who knows? The next generation might step in and be like, you know what? It's time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a day-to-day thing, but I definitely want to see Moose's brand.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Blow up for sure.
Franchises, man.
Yes, sir.
Franchises. What advice would you give to our youth of aspiring entrepreneurs?
Man, where can I start? Be patient, stay consistent, understand that, tomorrow's a new day and you're not the only one struggling. You really gotta, one, believe in yourself and know your product and know it well.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever hurdles you go through, understand that you're gonna get over it.
Yeah.
And yes, listen to people when they give you like their feedback, but don't let it affect you.
Yes.
Do what you feel is right and do what you feel is best. And understand that you're gonna miss birthdays, you're gonna miss holidays, you're not gonna be able to go on vacations when you can. You're gonna be missing a lot of important things in your life.
Mm-hmm.
But that's your decision that when you open up that restaurant or that business, you gotta sacrifice.
Yeah.
So understand that you're in for a long run and you're in for a rocky road, but there's a lot of benefits to it.
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm very grateful, you made time get on here because there's a long list of unique just line of people who represent our city in the best way. I truly admire the brand you've made with Casablanca, how you've reached out into Moosas. I really says that you're like a pillar in this community. Like you've embedded yourself. The culture you've brought here has made Milwaukee better. And I just want to say thank you for just giving this a shot. How can people reach you?
You can reach me on Facebook, Nas Musa. I love talking to my customers. I love talking to all my guests, getting their feedback, their honest feedback. And I'm always, till this day, asking, what can we do to better your service? What can we do to better your experience? And, I love to hear good feedback just as much as bad feedback because it does help me.
Yeah.
And it helps the whole team.
There you go. Mm-hmm. You also, like with Casablanca, you do rent out halls, right?
Yep. So we have a lot of space. At the east side, we got 2 floors. So that first floor, we really don't use it as much. Mm-hmm. So if someone wants to do like a private event, bachelor party, birthday party.
You hear this, people?
Yeah. You'll have your own private bar and dining area. And then for Brookfield, if you want a smaller party, we have an upstairs that can close to like 40, 50 people. But if you have like an event that's like 300 people, we're willing to close down if the money's right. But
Yeah.
we'll take care of you.
Yeah. Well, again, I truly appreciate you making time, and just to know, like, here's your flowers, man. You've made your impact in the community. I want you to know your legacy is here, man. So, with all that being said, thank you.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate you.
Awesome. And Spearhead out.